Hello and welcome. You're watching Express News, in which we bring to you the top 100 stories of the day. Let's get started. The new bill to ban the practice of instant triple talaq introduced in Lok Sabha. The bill was introduced by Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad. The Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Bill 2019 seeks to replace an ordinance issued in February. The bill proposes to make the practice of instant triple talaq or talaq-e-biddat a penal offence. Under the Muslim Women Protection of Rights on Marriage Ordinance 2019, divorcing through instant triple talaq is illegal and void. Divorcing through instant triple talaq will attract a jail term of 3 years for the husband. Union Minister of Information and Broadcasting Prakash Javadekar has said that fake news and information published with malicious intent on social media are important subjects and there should be a discussion on them in the House. He also said that the government is keeping a close eye to check false and misleading advertising. The 5th International Day of Yoga is being celebrated across the world today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the nation in celebrating the International Day of Yoga in Ranchi in Jharkhand. This year's theme is Yoga for Heart. Prime Minister said that we should make efforts to take yoga from cities to villages and tribal areas. He added that yoga is above religion, caste, colour, gender and region. It is above everything. Addressing the gathering of thousands of volunteers in Ranchi, Prime Minister Modi gave the motto of Yoga for Peace, Harmony and Prosperity. PM Modi also announces President Ramnath Kovind inaugurates an event to mark the International Day of Yoga at the Ceremonial Hall at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. President said International Day of Yoga is being celebrated at Rashtrapati Bhavan since 2015. He said that it is not just an event, it is a way to make yoga an integral part of our life. Yoga program was organized by Brahmakumaris at Red Fort in New Delhi. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu participated in the program. Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar performed the Yogasana at Rajpath. Speaking on the occasion, the Union Minister said that the practice of yoga has led to healthy life, healthy living, wellness and prevention of disease. Union Minister Smriti Irani performed yoga with citizens of Bijwasan in Delhi on the occasion of the 5th International Day of Yoga in Dwarka. Yoga events were also organized in various other places. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla organized a yoga classroom for members in Parliament. Members took part enthusiastically by performing various asanas. Haryana government organized a yoga program in Rohtak. Union Minister Amit Shah and Chief Minister Manohar Lal were present at the event. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh and Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar performed yoga at Rajpath in Delhi. BJP's working president JP Nadda along with other party leaders and workers also performed yoga at an event at the party's headquarters. BJP's National General Secretary Ram Madhav performs yoga at an event in Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala to mark the International Day of Yoga. Union Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari attended a yoga program in Nagpur. He performed yoga and later said that yoga is a symbol of age-old tradition and heritage and has been adopted by the world today. Yoga event was also organized at Sindhu Ghat in Leh. The event was led by Director General of India Tibet Border Police. ITBP officials and Jawans participated in the program in large numbers. Border Security Force also performed yoga at Wagah border in Amritsar. The International Day of Yoga was also celebrated in DD News. The event was attended by top officials of DD News and other staff members. United Nations also hosted yoga event Yoga with Gurus with the theme Yoga for Climate Action. India's permanent representative to the UN, Syed Akbaruddin, hoped the indoor yoga session in the General Assembly Hall, the first of its kind, will reinforce values of cleaner, greener and more sustainable future that all yogis are committed to. Brain fever has afflicted more than 600 children across 16 districts of Bihar since the beginning of this month, according to State Health Department. Rift between Congress and JDS alliance is widening in Karnataka. Former Prime Minister and JDS leader H.D. Devegowda said that there is no doubt that there will be midterm polls. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh paid homage to all 13 air warriors who lost their lives in the AN-32 crash in Arunachal Pradesh early this month. Rajnath Singh also met families of 13 air warriors who lost their lives in the AN-32 at the Palam Technical Area. The aircraft crashed on 3rd June in Arunachal Pradesh. The Supreme Court rejects plea by deemed universities to grant them time beyond the deadline of 31st May to fill up 603 vacant seats in postgraduate medical and dental courses. The Indian indices wiped out most of its previous session gains and ended on a weak note. At close, the Sensex was down 407.14 points at 39,194.49. Nifty was down 107.7 points at 11,724.1. About 1,157 shares have advanced, 1,292 shares declined, and 167 shares remained unchanged. Rupee regained lost ground. It is trading lower by 11 paise at 69.55 per dollar against previous close of 69.44. Gold prices jumped in futures trade on Friday as weakness in equities boosted the appeal of the yellow metal as a safe haven asset. Silver also climbed higher on raised demand by industrial units and coin makers. Oil prices reversed earlier gains, but benchmark Brent crude was still set for its first weekly gain in 5 weeks amid rising tensions in the Middle East and on hopes for a drop in U.S. interest rates that may stimulate global growth. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chairs her first GST Council meeting. Council is expected to consider slashing GST on electric vehicles to 5% from 12%. Other issues like tenure of the National Anti-Profiteering Authority, revenue position of states and tax evasion are likely to be discussed, reportedly. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman chaired pre-budget consultation meeting in New Delhi today. It was attended by finance ministers of states and union territories and senior officers of the Ministry of Finance and state governments, among others. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said that the centre has the responsibility of setting the direction of the economic growth, while it is the responsibility of the states to implement in the field. The National Company Law Tribunal admits the insolvency petition moved by the State Bank of India under Section 7 of the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code against Jet Airways and instructed that the resolution process be wrapped up in 90 days as the matter is of national importance. The Enforcement Directorate claimed that the IL&FS Financial Services, a subsidiary of the IL&FS Group, alone has allegedly laundered over 5,000 crore rupees of shareholder funds. They also claimed that the group was being run as a personal fiefdom by the directors who indulged in enhancing turnover for better credit rating. The Indian steel industry is seeking a safeguard duty of 25% ad valorem on a wide range of steel products in the face of a sharp and significant increase in imports in lieu of duties imposed by the US, EU, Turkey and Canada and steel exports from Asian countries which are being diverted to India. International retail giant Walmart agrees to pay over $282 million to various US bodies to settle charges of violating anti-corruption regulations while conducting its business in India, China, Brazil and Mexico. Walmart-owned e-commerce major Flipkart has roped in a few banks and NBFCs to offer its seller partners working capital loans within 2 days at pricing of 9.5%. It has also revamped its seller financing program Growth Capital, which allows to avail credit of over 1 lakh rupees. Manufacturers in the US are unhappy with US-China trade tensions. The outdoor recreation industry is affected by the US-China trade tensions, and President Donald Trump's proposed new tariffs on China, said manufacturers and retailers at the industry's largest US trade show in Denver, Colorado. The volume-weighted average rate of China's benchmark overnight repo for banks fell to 1.1%, the lowest level since June 2015. Traders attributed the decline in the interbank repo rate to ample cash conditions in the banking system. FTSE Russell, the world's second-largest index provider, will officially bring 1,097 Chinese domestically listed stocks into its widely tracked global benchmarks on Monday. The inclusion of Chinese shares into FTSE Russell indexes is estimated to bring China inflows of over $10 billion. Airbus calls for a chance to compete for a blockbuster plane order by British Airways owner IAG, which stunned industry executives at this week's Paris Air Show by ordering 200 of Boeing's grounded 737 MAX. The Competition Commission of India has approved the merger of India Bulls Housing Finance Limited and India Bulls Commercial Credit Limited with Lakshmi Vilas Bank Limited. IBHFL will hold around 90.5% of the post-merger enhanced equity capital of the merged entity. Sovereign wealth funds are piling into India with buying stakes in airports to renewable energy attracted by political stability. Growing middle class and strong economic reforms are making it more enticing for foreigners to invest in the Indian economy. The 5th International Day of Yoga is being celebrated across the world today. Yoga is an ancient physical, mental and spiritual practice that originated in India. On 11th December 2014, the UN proclaimed 21st June as the International Day of Yoga. The Indian Embassy in USA organizes programs in front of the White House as the world celebrates 5th International Yoga Day. Several gather to perform yoga. Bangladesh celebrates 5th International Day of Yoga. Around 7,000 people participated in the program organized at the Bangabandhu Stadium in Dhaka by the Indian High Commission. Several eminent personalities participate in the event. In Sri Lanka, several events are being organized to mark the International Day of Yoga. The country's national television channel organized a special program on the occasion, which included live telecast of the main yoga program held in Ranchi and attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Nepal also celebrates 5th International Day of Yoga. Hundreds of yoga enthusiasts, including Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and Deputy Prime Minister Upendra Yadav, participate in Yoga Day celebrations. As part of the International Yoga Day celebrations, over 4,000 people of different nationalities gather in Abu Dhabi to perform yoga. The US and Iran released conflicting images of the position of the drone, but it was shot down by Iran. US claims that the drone was shot down in international airspace, while Tehran releases images stressing that the drone was shot down in Iranian airspace. As US tensions with Iran intensify, the US Federal Aviation Administration issues an emergency order prohibiting US operators from flying over an area of the Iran-controlled airspace over the Strait of Hormuz and Gulf of Oman. Some global airlines are rerouting flights to avoid Iran-controlled airspace over the Strait of Hormuz and Gulf of Oman after the US aviation regulator barred its carriers from the area until further notice. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shows concerns over the reopening of the US-Mexico-Canada agreement, says he is very pleased with the existing USMCA pact and is concerned that if it is reopened, it could lead to lengthy renegotiations and worse outcomes. He says that Canada would not get involved in the US ratification process. The European Union leaders failed to reach a deal on candidates for the union's top post due to no majority on any candidate, announced another meeting on the 30th of June to seek agreement. In Britain, PM candidate Boris Johnson edges closer to power by winning 160 out of 313 votes in the fifth and final ballot of Conservative lawmakers to replace British Prime Minister Theresa May. In the voting process, one ballot paper was rejected. Thailand's government made final preparations for hosting the 34th ASEAN Summit in Bangkok. Security tightened with 10,000 security personnel deployed. Leaders from 10 countries of Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Myanmar, Brunei and Singapore will attend the summit. Thousands dressed in black march in Hong Kong to press for full withdrawal of the controversial extradition bill. Demonstrators, mostly students wearing hard hats, goggles and face masks, disrupt traffic on key roads to demand embattled leader Carrie Lam to scrap the bill altogether. Pro-democracy campaigner Joshua Wong joins the protest, condemns police violence and urges the government to drop the word riot to describe the demonstrations. Thomas Ojia Quintana, UN Special Representative for Human Rights in North Korea, raises concerns over the fate of North Korean escapees detained in China, urges China not to repatriate the increasing number of North Korean escapees it has arrested in recent months due to severe punishment faced by those sent home. Protesters rallying against the visit of a Russian lawmaker try storm Georgia's parliament building, throw bottles and grab riot shields from some officers. Riot police used tear gas, rubber bullets and water cannons. At least 70 people sustained injuries. A Turkish court awards life sentences to 24 people, including senior military officers, for their part in the 2016 failed coup that aimed to overthrow President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. At least 3 people were killed while several others were injured when a passenger train travelling to Lahore from the southern port city of Karachi hit a goods train. A driver, assistant driver and a guard were killed. Security has been heightened in Egypt. Dozens of police officers and armoured vehicles have been deployed around Cairo Stadium as Egypt prepares itself for the Africa Cup of Nations tournament. Apple has recalled a limited number of older generation 15-inch MacBook Pro units which contain a battery that may overheat and pose a safety risk. Apple said that those units were mostly sold between September 2015 and February 2017. The Pro-focused photo editing tool Lightroom is now available on the Mac App Store, marking the first major Adobe app to be available through the revamped version of the platform. The title joins the more lightweight Photoshop elements but is the sole Pro app currently available. Google has scrapped plans for tablets in lieu of Chrome laptops. They will be focusing on Chrome OS laptops and will continue to support Pixel Slate. The company will continue working with third-party hardware makers for Chrome OS laptops. Amazon announced a new Fire TV edition with Dolby Vision. It is basically an upgraded Fire TV edition with the display model made by Toshiba. A 55-inch model is available starting today for $450 with 43 and 50-inch screens. A new research has found that multimorbidity scores can help doctors understand their patients' overall prognosis and can help researchers identify risks faced by people with multiple chronic illnesses such as arthritis, diabetes or heart disease. Scientists have created a tiny robotic capsule that can take images inside the colon and could replace the invasive and often painful procedures of endoscopy to detect diseases like cancer. Named as a Sonophil, the device can be maneuvered inside the colon to take micro-ultrasound images. A study at Gujarat University has claimed that yoga can lower down dyslipidemia, which is abnormally elevated cholesterol or fats, has a direct result of competitive, stressful and sedentary lifestyle and can lead to cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, obesity and cancer. A new study by neurologists suggests that supplements taken to preserve brain health by older people are not tested for accuracy of their stated ingredients by independent laboratories, and they overwhelmingly do not have the legitimate scientific evidence that would demonstrate that they are effective. A new research has launched a wearable e-tattoo made from stretchy, lightweight material, which could make cardiac monitoring easier and more accurate than existing electrocardiograph machines. The device is lightweight and stretchable and can be placed over the heart for extended periods with no discomfort. A new study suggests that 3 of the phenolic compounds in cocoa bean shells have powerful effects on the fat and immune cells, which has potential on reversing the chronic inflammation and insulin resistance associated with obesity. According to a study, the manner in which you lock your smartphone may reveal your age. It also found that older users tend to rely more on auto-lock feature compared to younger ones. Older smartphone users also prefer using pins over fingerprints to unlock their phones. Researchers have developed a new drug delivery system with the help of curcumin, the main ingredient in the spice turmeric, that successfully prevents bone cancer cells to spread and promote the growth of healthy bone cells. Having lost 5 games so far, Afghanistan face an uphill challenge as they take on India in the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup 2019. Australian skipper Aaron Finch said that the 5-time world champions are not thinking about semi-finals just yet, despite making it to the top of the 10-team points table. Australian David Warner became the first man to score more than 150 runs twice in the history of the ICC World Cup. Cricketer Yuvraj Singh was acquired by the Toronto Nationals in the player draft for the second edition of the tournament, which will get underway on the 25th of July. Bangladesh expects a lot from opener Tamim Iqbal, and the left-hander was candid enough to admit that he has not been able to live up to the expectations still in the ongoing World Cup. The inclusion of women's cricket in 2022 Commonwealth Games is a brilliant move, as it will take the game to new audiences who have never given priority to it, says England women's team captain Heather Knight. Prince Andy Murray made a successful return after 6 months following hip surgery as he partnered Feliciano Lopez to first-round doubles win at the Queen's Club Championships. Juan Martin Del Potro will miss Wimbledon next month after fracturing the patella in his right knee for the second time in 9 months. Maria Sharapova's injury return came to an abrupt end when the player got beaten by Angelique Kerber with a score of 6-2, 6-3 in the Mallorca Open. Top seed Stefanos Tsitsipas survived a day of shocks at the Queen's Club Grass Court Championships as he claimed 2 victories to reach the quarterfinals. Roger Federer was made to work hard by Joe Wilfried Tsonga at the Hall Open before he sealed a victory in the second round to continue his charge towards a 10th title at the Grass Court tournament. American actress Leslie Mann has been roped into the adaptation fantasy Bleed Spirit based on the renowned play by Noel Coward. Mann joins the already star-studded star cast, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, the film, directed by Edward Hall, has been penned by Nick Moorcroft, Meg Leonard and Piers Ashworth. Hollywood star Demi Moore has joined the cast of USA Network's upcoming Brave New World series. The series imagines a utopian society that has achieved peace and stability through the prohibition of monogamy, privacy, money, family and history. Chinese President Xi Jinping and his wife Peng Liyuan, chairman of the State Affairs Commission of DPRK Kim Jong-un and his wife Ri Soul Ju watched a large group calisthenics and art performance together. Another record for Pink Floyd as she sells guitars for climate change, which funds environmental lawyers and experts in the fight against climate change, according to Rolling Stone. With the ongoing celebrations of Royal Ascot Day, Britain's Prince William celebrated his birthday lavishly as he turns 37 years old today. Meanwhile, he received warm messages from his loved ones. Ahead of Michael Jackson's death anniversary, people across the world remember him with his videos, news, songs. A show of love and remembrance was organized for the pop king by his fans. A live streaming seafood seller in Thailand is making millions in sales with his unique talking style and his super fast team, whose combination is making his food a super hit in the Thai market. Wizards Unite is hoping to steal the magic away from fellow AR game Pokemon Go when it goes on release on the 21st of June, as the makers of Pokemon Go released a Harry Potter game that swaps monster for magic. Netflix released a teaser trailer of a new short film Anima, a musical piece starring Tom York of Radiohead with the direction of Paul Thomas Anderson. And Prince Charles visits the set of James Bond at Pinewood Studios. He was shown a silver Aston Martin DB5 and a black Aston Martin P8 by Daniel Craig. And that's all that we have for you in this edition of the Express News. News and updates will continue on DD India. Stay tuned. Those are our social media handles. Thanks for watching.